Okay guys, today we're doing lesson 1-6, comparing numbers, on page 16 and 17. Now before we begin, I want you to remember you've got one math vocabulary word, compare. It's at the top of page 16. It's highlighted in yellow. Go ahead and pause the video and copy down your vocabulary word. When you compare something, it means to find out which number is greater and which number is less. Now there's one important rule to always remember. Always start with the highest place value when you're comparing something. Now let's do a little review. Now remember in second grade that you remembered these symbols. When the alligator's mouth is open and it's pointing to the greater number, that means greater than. That means the number is greater than the other number. So if the alligator's mouth is open, the number that it's open to, that's the bigger number. When the alligator's nose points to a number, that means it's less than the other number. The alligator's nose points to the smaller number. When you see the equal sign, that means both numbers are equal. They both have the same value. And let's look at an example. 3,456. Is that greater than, less than, or equal to 3,482? Now when you're comparing numbers, the best thing to do is to put them in a place value chart. You can put them in a chart, or you can write the place value above the number until you get used to just being able to look at them and tell. Now 3,456, I went ahead and put this in my place value. I've got a 3 in the thousands place, a 4 in the hundreds place, a 5 in the tens, and a 6 in the ones place. In 3,482, I've also got a 3 in the thousands place, a 4 in the hundreds place, an 8 in the tens, and the 2 in the ones place. Now remember, our rule said when we're comparing numbers, we always start with the highest place value. So let's look at the thousands place, because that's the highest place that we have. Now in both numbers, they both have a 3. A 3 is the same. They're both equal. So I'm going to have to go to the next place value to compare numbers. Now the next place is the hundreds place. I've got a 4 in the hundreds place for both numbers. So I'm going to have to go to the next place value again, which is the tens place. Now in this number, 3,456, I have a 5 in the tens place. And 3,482, I have an 8 in the tens place. Which number is greater, 5 or 8? If you said 8, you were correct. So that means 3,482 is greater than 3,456. Now notice that my mouth of my symbol is pointing to the larger number. Now let's practice. You can also compare numbers even if it's in picture form. Remember, we've got standard form, expanded form, word form, and picture form. Now all of us know that this block right here equals 100, and these blocks equal 10. So I have 4 tens, which is 40, and a 100 block, and a ones block. So my number is 142. Now until you get used to being able to look at pictures and being able to tell what the number is, I want you guys to write the number underneath the picture. Okay? It'll be easier for you to compare that way. Now let's look at this picture. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. 6 tens is equal to 60. So I have 60 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So this number is 61. So which one's greater, 142 or 61? Well, let's start with the highest place value. We've got ones and tens. Ones, tens, hundreds. So the highest place value we have is the hundreds place. So there's a 1 in the hundreds place. Now let's look here. I don't have anything in the hundreds place here. So I'm going to put a 0. So now that I'm comparing numbers, which one's greater, 1 or 0? If you said 1, you're correct. So that means 142 is greater than 61. Now remember, the mouth points to the bigger number. Now let's look at number 3. I've got 2,561. And they want to know if that's greater than, less than, or equal to 2,261. So remember, start with our highest place. We've got our ones place, tens, hundreds, thousands. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. My highest place is the thousands place. I've got a 2 and a 2. They're the same numbers. So I'm going to have to go to the next place value, which is the hundredths place. I've got a 5 and a 2. 2 different numbers, so I can compare them. Which one's greater, 5 or 2? If you said 5, you're correct. So that means 2,561 is greater than 2,261. Remember, the alligator's mouth points to the larger number. Now I want you to try a couple. I want you to do number 2, 8, and 9 out of your book. Okay? Don't worry about drawing the pictures like I did. You just write the numbers. So if you see a picture on numbers 2, 8, or 9, you write the number that that picture represents and then compare them. Again, don't worry about drawing the pictures. Just write the numbers. Okay? If you've got any questions, write them down at the bottom of your notebook page, and we'll talk about them first thing in the morning. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.